win, and he's all about team. So all in all, just awesome progress.
Mario, on the reserves you're getting, and specifically Bryce Fitzgerald getting the interception in the fourth quarter. He's a guy who didn't get to come in until the summer, but to see him making impacts today, he got in some time in Notre Dame, to be able to see him be able to step up as quickly as he did, just what stands out about him?
I mean, just about everything. He's smart, he's tough, he's athletic, he's ridiculously gifted, and he's a great human being. He's all about his teammates. He wants to do well. Got a tremendous knack for being around the football. His cover skills are excellent. He's a great tackler, and he's not a little guy. He's a big guy. You know, he's 6'1" plus, and you know he's close to 200 pounds. So he's a guy that he's learned our systems, picked them up really well, and actually a couple different positions. And so you're going to see him more and more.
Hey Mario, I know it was just a quarter and a half, but how important was it to get Emory back on the football field, playing productive football in a rhythm?
Really important. I mean, I think everyone that played tonight, it's really important. The season is long. And if your roster is really going to develop, you have to get them some time, both in practice and in opportunities like this. Emory's a really good player, and it was good for him to get out there and just kind of shake off some of that dust from a year ago, because we have a lot of faith and confidence in him. He showed it, and just really proud of him.
Mario, with Mark Fletcher kind of just like chugging along the last two games, he didn't break off any huge runs, but he had consistent, solid runs. Just how important is it to, kind of for him to keep you guys ahead of the chains and stuff?
I mean, averaging almost 8 yards a carry, very physical runner, really good in pass protection, tremendous leader. I think all those guys just did a really good job. Him, Marty Brown, I know Chris Wheatley-Humphrey. All those guys got some really, really good hits. And Mark and Marty started us off for the game. And, I mean, we feel like we have multiple starters back there. But to your question, as for Mark, you can't say enough great things about him. You know, he epitomizes a leader, you know.
Going back to Daryl Streeter.
Coach, how you doing? Saw Wesley in regular clothes and didn't see Josiah traded. Could you tell us a little bit about both of those guys?
Which ones?
Wesley and Josiah.
Wesley was ejected in the first quarter, right? JoJo got banged up late in the week, so he was a no-go for the game.
Coach, Malachi Tony continues to shine. I mean, there was a catch he made where he just shook the Bethune defensive players. Talk about his performance and the continued progression of his game.
I think you're seeing what we see every day in practice, and it goes back to his professionalism. We all know he's ultra talented. I think a lot of us have seen him play since he was knee high throughout his entire just youth career and high school career. But what people don't see, that he is as diligent and as hard of a worker as you could want in that room at such a young age. He's a great example for everybody, old and young, in that building.
Gino Toretta compared him to Kevin Williams this past week. Would you see the comparison for Kevin Williams and Malachi Tony back in the day?
You know, one thing, I stay away from comparisons, you know, because for guys, we don't want the next Kevin Williams. I love K-Dubs. He's a brother to me, but we want the first Malachi Tony, and he's doing a really good job establishing himself as that.
Coach, obviously you lost some great talent on the wide receiving core after last year, but it seems like, at least early on, that this group is really special and doing some good things. Just talk about this group as a whole.
Talented guys that work really, really hard. They are as tight-knit of a receiver group, which is not super common all the time, right? I mean, these guys they hang together, they work together, they work on the details of the game. So besides being really talented, they have great leadership. I think it starts with C.J. Daniels and the way he has taken a leadership role in that room. Keelan does a lot of that stuff as well, and they just, guys like Ray. I mean, there's just a lot of really experienced guys that know the processes and the regimen that it takes to be successful on Saturday. So they've had a significant impact on the other guys, and they're making plays as they come to them. Notice they're not trying to play out of scheme. They're not trying to do something that's out of what is asked of them to put us in a pinch. They're making the plays that come to them, and when they do have an opportunity, they're making it count.
Coach, we'll wrap it there. Thank you.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Carson, I know individual stuff doesn't mean much to you, but Vinny Testaverde had a record here that stood for 39 years, and then you broke it tonight, going 15 for 15 to start. Do those things, one, mean anything to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool, obviously, to, perform at a high level and do things like that. It's actually funny. So I was talking to Coach Bobo, the offensive coordinator at Georgia last week after the game a little bit. And I think I had like a streak there where I had a couple completions in a row last week, and he had texted me whatever because he has the record at Georgia. I think it's like 19 in a row. So and he had texted me like, oh, like you're not gonna break my record, blah blah blah. So I was like going into, I was like, all right, like I'm gonna try to get 19 in a row. And then I threw the out route over Malachi's head, and I was pissed, but. It's not really. I'm kidding. But, no, it was super cool, man. And those guys were out there making plays. I mean, O-line was giving me all the time in the world. And, I mean, when you got CJ going up and grabbing balls out of the air like that, it makes my job a little easier to be able to do that. So.
And obviously, tougher games. Last week was tough. The next three are going to be pretty tough, too. But how important is it? A night like tonight, a lot of guys play. A lot of guys have something on film now. Just how critical?
No, absolutely. I think last year taught me a lot, just going through my injury and just going through the season and facing adversity, and then having to come back from an injury. It really it showed me to never take the sport for granted, right? Never take what I love for granted, and every opportunity is an opportunity, and that's what I try to stress to these guys so much, is that every time that you get a chance to get on the field, like, we only have guaranteed 10 more games. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's crazy to think that way, but, like, it's the truth. And, like, you work all year for these 12 guaranteed opportunities, and now we're 2 in, right? So just try to take, every single game with a grain of salt, show appreciation to the game, go out there, execute, and, that's what we did at a high level tonight. So really proud of the guys. We'll celebrate this one and then get in there, watch film on USF tomorrow.
Yeah, Carson, you threw completion, I think, to 10 different guys. Just the importance of being able to spread the ball around. What you like about that? Obviously, we know CJ and Malachi what they're going to do, but for you to be able to start building a rapport in game settings with the rest of the receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Coach Dawson does a really good job of just mixing up offensive looks and just cycling calls, and not just cycling calls, but getting us in really good calls against what the defense is doing against us. And for me, I just do what the defense tells me to do, right? So, obviously I watch film and I prepare throughout the week, and I have an idea of what it's going to look like, what it's going to be on the field, but you never know until you're actually out there, right? You have to react, you have to make the throw, you have to, read the defense. So, but that's the fun in the game, right? Is reacting to the defense, and, whoever is the man called, based off of the coverage, that's where the ball's going to go to. So I'm glad that it was able to get spread around tonight.
Carson, obviously it's one thing to be able to make the throws and read the defenses, go to the right place, but to have the timing that you have with these guys, it almost feels like you've been with them for, multiple years, but you haven't. So how have you been able to build that rapport and just get on the same page that quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously it was a shortened amount of time with the injury, but, man, I have to give a huge credit to them because of their mentality and their mindset and their approach to learning and being on the same page with me. Like, obviously, like, it takes relationships to build chemistry, right? I think we've done a great job, me and the wide receivers, of actually having, like, real, genuine relationships and, like, bonds that, will last beyond football, right? But even back in January, February, when I was sitting in a brace and I couldn't even, bend or straighten my arm, better yet, throw a football, I was way far from that. Like, we're in there watching film, going over plays, like, talking through coverages, like, I'm out there, we're walking through routes after practice, all that type of stuff. And then even through spring ball, obviously I wasn't practicing, but trying to coach them and teach them how I see things. I think that helped a lot, but also their mindset and mentality, really allowed that to happen. Because if they didn't come with the right approach, then anything that I do wouldn't matter, right? So, that's a kudos to them and the way that they work. And then obviously summer PLPs, all the work during fall camp. It all just kind of clicked because of, all the mental stuff that we did in the offseason.
Carson, just what you think of kind of the balance of the offense tonight and Mark and Marty in the backfield?
Yeah, those dudes are, gosh, I would not want to tackle them. they're big, tough, physical runners. Marty and Mark, obviously, I mean, Lyle was a little banged up, but I mean, he's a third guy that is going to come in there and run that rock hard. Even, I mean, you got some looks at our younger guys tonight as well. So, but man, I mean, it all starts behind that O-line. You know, they lead this team, they run this team. I've talked about them a ton throughout the offseason and even coming into the season. But I mean, from pass protection to run block to, I mean, and we run so many different run plays and scheme, and Coach Mirabal does a great job with all that. But then you get the rock in guys' hands that can make safeties miss and make second level defenders miss and go take a 4-yard gain and turn it into a 20-yard gain, right? It makes my job a lot easier, especially when guys are so worried about fitting the run. And then that's when you can obviously throw it over their head. So super proud of those guys and excited to see the way that they work throughout the, continuous of the season.
Thanks, Carson.
Thank you, guys.
George, first off, just take us through your touchdown, just what it mean to get your first touchdown at the collegiate level.
It was a blessing. I couldn't thank my O-line more. I couldn't thank Coach Cristobal for letting me get a chance to play tonight. It was an all-around blessing to be able to do that at a college level.
And, you heard I just asked Carson about, Mark and Marty, two guys and Jordan, who's been here for 2 years. How much have you learned from, working with those guys over the last, since you got here?
I learned a ton. Coming from high school, I didn't know much. They taught me a lot about schemes and how to read the defense before the play. Like, it's just a blessing to have Mark, Marty, J. Lau, Chris Wheatley. We're just so close that we want to see each other eat. So they feed me knowledge, and I take it.
Just talk a little bit about what it's like for you waiting your turn. Obviously you come to college like any other freshman. You're excited and hoping to play, but you guys have a crowded running back room. So how do you feel just about waiting your turn and seizing opportunities like tonight?
It's like I said, it's a blessing to be behind human beings like Marty, Mark, and J. Lau and Chris Wheatley, Terrell Walden. We're just a brotherhood, so it's just like. It's not a big deal to me. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be a part of the team. Blessed. I'm just blessed.
Did Coach Merritt or anyone, after your touchdown, say anything to you?
He just let me know that he was happy for me, as well as all the other teammates and stuff like that. So I'm just so happy that I was able to score a touchdown today. And Coach Merritt congratulated me.
Coach Shannon Dawson, what did he say to you after your touchdown and basically just your performance for tonight?
He congratulated me as well, like once or twice. So I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for my old lineman. I couldn't do it without him. So,
Yeah, just freshman class overall, a lot of you guys got a lot of playing time. You, the tight ends, Dalen Upshot, we've been seeing Keonte for a bit. Just the potential of this group, what do you think you guys can do now that we're starting to get a glimpse of what you guys are able to do on the field?
All those guys are amazing. I feel like we're gonna be next up. We're behind a couple of guys, a couple of us, but we're gonna be next up, and I feel like we're gonna be able to continue the path that older guys are doing. So I'm grateful to have them as well.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, when you compare last week versus this week, Notre Dame obviously on a big stage and now Bethune-Cookman, were you able to gain out of both weeks? Obviously, Notre Dame was an emotional win, and this week you guys come down to be able to use a lot of other players to get an idea what your team is like. How would you compare both weeks and their totality?
I'll say that Notre Dame was a very, very meaningful win. It meant a lot to the whole team. Like, even the guys who weren't playing a lot, we all were so happy like that, because it goes back years and years, So we were just happy that we won, And this week, that wasn't a bad team, They gave us very good looks, so we were just happy that we won. We want to know this week, but we're moving on to USF.
Awesome. On it there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keonte just, kind of lived in their backfield a little bit tonight. Just, what did you see on those plays and what was working so well for you tonight?
Yeah, I definitely would just say, thankful for, the defensive scheme for sure, and just thankful for, all the guys around me, just everybody doing their part. I feel like this defense is very special when everybody's doing their 111. So, everybody doing their 111, and it shows on the field.
As a DB, just how much do you enjoy getting to the backfield, kind of blowing up runs like that?
Yeah, it's definitely fun, as something to do, when coaches, put me in that position to make that play. I pride myself on being able to make those type of plays.
Keonte, 2 questions. First off, just big picture, what do you guys take away from a win like this? Obviously, Notre Dame last week, top 10 game, whatnot. Against a game like this, what do you take away from it?
Yeah, I definitely, I feel like this team is, built the model up, from the start of the first week. I mean, everybody's coming in. We're treating everybody the same. Our main focus is just getting better each week. Treating everybody the same. No week different than no other week. Every week is the same. Everybody got to see us. So we're just, trying to be the aggressors each week and just, take on everybody, taking the challenge each week to get better.
And then Bryce gets the interception. Just what was the reaction from the DB room seeing him being able to do that? And what stood out about him? I mean, he doesn't come in until the summer, has a month to really make a name for himself, and he's able to start making an impact this early.
Yeah, I definitely would say, the DB room, it's not a surprise. I mean, I feel like Bryce did a good job, all camp, all summer, finding the ball. So I feel like that's something that, a trait he has in his game, and it's going to continue to show throughout the year, and he's going to continue to find the ball, something he does well.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
You got CJ Daniels?
Good,
How are you?
Good.
CJ's big picture, what do you guys take away from a win like this? Obviously, you go from top 10 game against Notre Dame to playing this game. You guys are able to get a lot of guys reps. Just what are you overall, Terry, take away from tonight?
Really take every day. Don't take it for granted, man. We gotta prepare just like it's Notre Dame, man. It's 1-0 each week. We don't care too much about the past. We don't focus on the present. We focus on who we got this week, and I think we did a great job of preparing, and we got to continuously do that each and every week.
CJ, my big question is, are you ever going to make a regular touchdown catch? Just, standing there. Seems like every catch you make is, has been a very good one so far.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I think the biggest goal for me is to make plays for the quarterback, man. Wherever he put it, my job is to, hold it in, man, make his job easier, man. And, I just tell Carson, man, just put it around me, man. I'm a playmaker, man, and, I just want to make his job as easy as possible.
Some more serious question. If I remember right, last year you kind of banged up when you were at LSU. No touchdowns. To come in here and have an immediate impact, 3 touchdowns in 2 games, just how special is that for you?
At the end of the day, man, I know who I am as a player, man. I think the Canes know who they got as a player, man, and the biggest goal for me is to show that, man, through my play, man. And, that's why I'm here to make plays, man, and I couldn't do it without this team.
Talking about those 2 catches you made, I mean, these are going to be collages of photos of touchdown grabs. Talk about those catches, but also your connection with Carson Beck and how, you guys are working in practice to put out performances like this and make plays like that.
Yeah, I think it was built up over time, man. Since we got here in January, like I tell everybody, man, the stuff we do off the field, man, the just being together as a team, it definitely relates to how we play as a team on the field, man. So I think it just go back to those months that, it was just a belief, man. And we put that belief to the test, man. And, we're going to come out here and perform.
CJ, just talk about the closeness of your room, of the wide receiver room, and because it seems like there's an awful lot of talent, but you guys all get along. And
yeah, I try to get on that from the jump, man. I think the first text I sent to the group was, I want everybody to be as one. Outside of the field, we got to do some things just to get the chemistry right, man. And I think doing those things off the field definitely helped our bond grow. It's not a selfish group. We play for each other, man. And it was just a blessing to see all the guys get in there today, man, and really show the work that they put in, because a lot of times they're not able to see that, man. So it's really good to see those guys go out there and perform, man. It was really good.
CJ, what's impressed you the most about Malachi Tony through his first 2 games?
He different, man. I don't really know how to explain it, man. Just he's a playmaker, man, and he makes everybody better, man. He holds me accountable, which is crazy to say, him being a freshman, man. He's a leader on the team, man, and he's very exceptional as a player off the field, on and off the field.
Thanks, CJ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got one more coming.
Questions?
Yeah. Bryce, can you just take us through the interceptions, what it meant to be able to get your first one out?
It felt great. My teammates, they've been pushing me all week, saying you're going to get one. Just trust and just trusting the details in the play, and you're going to be all right.
And then for you in general, you didn't enroll until the summer. You really had a month to sort of prove that you can make an impact early. What were you able to do to be able to get yourself on the field as early as you did?
Really just grind with my teammates. They brought me in like I already had been here, and we just grinded through the summer and fall camp, and we're here now.
How much does it mean to you to be able to play like this so early in your career? I mean, the fact that you did it, like we were just saying, without a spring practice makes it even more remarkable. I mean, do you realize the significance of what you're doing?
Yeah, it feels great, especially learning from Zachary Poyser and Jacoby Thomas, of course. Learning from them, it teaches me a lot of stuff, details, just reading the keys on the field. So I thank them for doing that to me.
You guys are in the fourth quarter. They're on 4th down. What do you guys tell each other in the huddle before you make that pick? I mean, you got to keep them out of the end zone, right? What was that conversation like in the huddle?
Bend, don't break. Just trusting each other. Everybody do their job, and we're gonna come out. We're gonna be all right.
Gerard was talking a little bit earlier kind of about this freshman class as a whole. I mean, obviously, Malachi's had a great start, through 2 games. You have the pick tonight. Gerard scores a touchdown. Just what do you think about this freshman class as a whole, and what this group is capable of accomplishing?
We all just want it. Malachi, he's in here 5:30 in the morning, catching balls, watching film. He wants it. Everybody here that's a freshman, they want it. So we fell along with the seniors, and we brought everybody in.
And what do you think? I mean, I guess some coaching staffs might do like a strict seniority kind of thing. Like, you've been here 4 years, you're probably going to get playing time. Then you've been here 3 years, etc. The fact that you can come in as a freshman, and if you perform well enough in practice, you can get on the field. Just what do you think what's so appealing about that, I guess?
It's great, especially when the seniors know that you can ball, so they trust in you. If you get trust from your teammates, it's the greatest. You just get the ball.
You just mentioned 5:30 in the morning. Is that something that's contagious for you guys as freshmen? You see one of your teammates doing that you got to be in there as well? Because, I mean, your stories about when Kobe Bryant would be at 4 o'clock in the morning training, and the other players from Team USA are like, wait, I got to beat him there. Is that something that's going on in your all minds, that we got to be there to be with him because we're going to do something big?
Yes. When I came in fall camp and I seen Malachi here in the morning, I said, man, I got to step it up. So it's a competing thing, but it's a brotherhood. So seeing him do that, you want to do better too.
Yeah, as a South Florida guy, how much did it mean to you to be able to get that first interception at home in front of friends and family?
It feels great. I texted my mom this morning, Ma, I'm going to get a pick just for you. So going into the fourth quarter, my brothers, I was getting a little down, but they told me just trust God and just go out there and play ball.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you.